How well can you persuade and influence others? Stay tuned. This is Damon from NLP Gym. How to manipulate people. NLP Mind Control Part 1. If you haven't already, please click subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can get these videos on a regular basis. I went out on a date the other night, and this was a first date. When she showed up, about 20 minutes into our conversation, she mentioned that she had seen some of my videos here on this YouTube channel, and she had no idea what NLP was, and watched a few of the videos, and she thought it was interesting. And she showed it to some of her friends, and these friends of hers had heard of NLP, and they had heard of the bad things about NLP, its reputation for being manipulative. So they warned her about me, and they said, watch out for this guy, he might try to manipulate you, he might try to take advantage of you. And this was about not very long into our conversation, so I found myself having to give an explanation of what her friends were warning her about. And the truth is that NLP has a well-deserved reputation for manipulation, and it serves as a very good warning to people who get into NLP with ill intent and thinking that they're going to manipulate people, because you will learn something really fast, and that is karma is a bitch. And when you use something as powerful as NLP and you're using it for ill intent, you basically accelerate your progress, and that will accelerate some pretty bad things happening to you. I'll discuss that a little bit more later. It's good to learn NLP to protect yourself from people who will manipulate you or try to take advantage of your vulnerabilities. And it's not that everybody who uses NLP does that. People can be manipulative without using NLP. And knowing NLP will help protect you against those people as well. First of all, we're always manipulating other people, and this isn't necessarily a bad thing. We've been doing it since we were kids. We depend on people, therefore we need to persuade and influence people to get what we want. And as long as we're not doing it in a way that hurts people, it's really not a bad thing, and this technically is manipulation. The difference between people who are very persuasive and influential versus people who are not is the person who is very persuasive is constantly upgrading and updating their strategies to be persuasive, to be manipulative, to get what they want. Whereas the people who are not very good at this are basically haven't upgraded and haven't updated their strategies for persuasion probably since they were kids. And so what happens is they end up pouting and sulking, thinking that that's still going to get them what they want, that somehow the world is going to recognize that they're pouting and go, oh, I'm sorry, here you go, here you can have what you want. That happens when we're kids, but as we get older and we start taking responsibility for ourselves, we have to find new strategies. And it's not just when we get older. It's not like you stop there. If you take someone who's very persuasive, they are constantly learning how to connect with people and get what they want from others, and at the same time giving back, that thing that we call reciprocity. NLP is a lot like a chess game. In a game of chess, you're constantly strategizing. You're constantly thinking 10 steps ahead, trying to get your opponent to step into your trap so that you can win. And you can play a game of chess without bringing any harm to your opponent. There's sort of this unconscious agreement that you and your opponent are going to sit down and play this game, and it's going to be for fun. Somebody's going to lose, somebody's going to win. But that's not the whole point of it. The whole point of it is that you both have an enjoyable experience. And this is manipulation at its best. This is persuasion and influence at its best. When a salesperson sells something to a client, the client didn't lose and the salesperson won. This was an even exchange, well, hopefully an even exchange. This was an exchange of a service or a product for money. That, in a sense, is a manipulation. That it takes persuasion and influence to do that. And as long as the salesperson's not lying to the client, There's nothing wrong with that. We do this every single day. In NLP, we teach something called ecology, or rather, we take the concept of an ecosystem or ecology and apply that to interactions with others, whether that's a sales interaction, a negotiation, or even coaching or therapy. Thinking in terms of systems, like I'm a system, the person who I'm persuading is also a system, and then the interaction we're in together is also a system. That becomes the ecosystem. And thinking in terms of ecology, it gets me out of my own immediate needs, my immediate desires and what I want, and gets me thinking in a more holistic way. What is best for the system? So say I go out with a person on a date, and I realize that yes, this person, I might find her attractive, but we have different needs and we have different wants. So I'm going to say, maybe it's just best that we're just friends. Like it's not really going to work. I could push, I could probably persuade, I could probably, get something out of this that is not going to be the best for both of us in the long term. Ecology is basically the understanding that whatever I introduce into this system, in this case an interaction with someone else, is going to affect the entire system. So is this what's best for the system? Is this what's best for both of us, not just me and not just the other person, but is this going to benefit the system as a whole? When you start thinking in terms of ecology rather than morals and ethics, and nothing wrong with morals and ethics, but morals and ethics are kind of static, and people run into situations that are new, situations they haven't been in before, and so then their morals and ethics get kind of shaky, like, well, what do I do here? But when you think in terms of ecology, it becomes different, it becomes alive. You're recognizing the situation that you're in a system, like a living, breathing system that is constantly growing and changing and moving, and now you get an opportunity to really think in a big picture of what is good for the system, not just for me, not just for the other person. For example, say I'm a used car salesperson and I'm lying to my clients, I'm selling shitty cars and they're way overpriced. Maybe I will get ahead short term, but in the long term, I can't operate a business like that. The business will fall apart. And that is ecology. That is the system not being balanced. When you have a good balanced system that grows, that is a sustainable system. And so that is basically connecting with a client, being honest with a client, not trying to screw the client. This creates something that can thrive and can grow. And this is ecology, taking into mind what is going to be best for the system as a whole. So when it comes to ecology, when you introduce something new into the system and it throws off the system, you might get a short-term gain, but long-term, you're basically killing the system. Very much like the environment. Oil and gas and carbon emissions, in the short term, it's making people very profitable. In the long term, and the bigger picture, it's killing the planet. So the profits and people getting rich off of this stuff, it's not going to matter after a while because there won't be a planet left to enjoy and to be profitable in. This is to be continued. Check out the next video.